bull riding doesn't warm up.
You know, when a guy is struggling like Ryan has been, oh man, just see him land.
These bulls hit, launch, crush, and erase whatever's in their way.
If he did not have a helmet on, you would see an ambulance coming in.
Here are the 10 most jaw-dropping moments where bulls reminded everyone who's actually in charge. Let's start with Cody Hudson, and Doc Holliday ran straight through him and left the crowd in shock. Cody Hudson's wreck starts bad and gets worse with every second. He's thrown off balance and lands directly in Doc Holliday's path, which is the last place any rider wants to be.
Oh, and he's in trouble. Oh, watch it.
Doc Holliday doesn't slow down or turn away. He charges straight through Hudson with full weight and full speed. Hooves slam into Hudson's shoulder and chest with bone-cracking force. His collarbone shatters instantly. Ribs take damage.
Look at him right there. He's... What are you doing? Oh.
His head snaps back hard enough to trigger a heavy concussion. The whole arena reacts at once, because everyone knows how dangerous it is when a rider ends up underneath a running bull. There's no bucking rhythm to soften the blows, just raw impact over and over. Next up, Justin Coon. Porcupine Puncher launched him straight into a hard-brain shutdown. Justin Coon walks into this ride with real momentum behind him. He's been riding sharp, reading bulls well, and carrying that easy confidence riders get when everything feels in sync. But Porcupine Puncher doesn't give him a chance to settle. The bull fires straight upward with a violent vertical launch that sends Coon rocketing into the air. When gravity pulls him back down, he lands stiff and flat, his head snapping back from the force. It's the kind of impact where you can tell instantly something isn't right. Coon reaches up slowly, eyes unfocused, body moving like he's underwater.
Ran down the gate and he kind of got a bad shot at him. They said they switched deliveries on him tonight, and man, that bull bug's really...
Medics rush in. It's a classic concussion hit. Heavy, disorienting, and dangerous. A single violent buck erased Coon's momentum and left him in a fog, reminding everyone how fast these rides can unravel. Then there's Craig Sasse. Tombstone met him skull first and shut the whole arena up. Craig Sasse's wreck on Tombstone is one of those old school hits that feel heavier because the protection wasn't a thing. Tombstone is a massive bull with a mean streak, the kind that doesn't just buck, he reacts. Mid-ride, Sasse tries to slip off to the side and escape the danger zone, but Tombstone jerks his head with brutal speed and catches him square in the skull.
It's on the board, that's for sure.
Immediately out to the right, I believe he touched up, 2.6 seconds, clock it stops.
The sound is sharp and sickening, echoing like stone smashing against stone. Sasse's head snaps back violently and his body folds as if someone cut the power. He drops with no control, and everyone watching knows immediately this isn't a minor hit.
An awesome effort, and Craig Sasse may be our first victim here tonight. He fell down inside.
The damage follows him long past the arena. Months of dizziness, pounding headaches, and memory problems that don't fade quickly. Even riders who pride themselves on being tough admit this clip makes them tense up. And it only gets wilder from here. The next bulls turn simple bucks into a full-blown human launch sequence. Coming next, Ryan McConnell. Mighty Whitey fired him into the sky with one brutal buck. Ryan McConnell settles onto Mighty Whitey looking steady and composed. The kind of rider who knows what he's doing. Nothing about his posture suggests trouble. Then Whitey throws a single massive buck that doesn't even look like full effort. Yet it sends McConnell shooting into the air like he's weightless.
Once he gets turned around, I think we're going to see him excel.
His body rotates mid-flight, completely out of control, arms flailing for something to grab that isn't there. When he comes down, he lands back first with a crack that makes the crowd flinch. The sound alone tells you how bad the hit is. McConnell's eyes glaze for a second, chest barely moving, his whole body frozen from the shock.
Yeah, you know, when a guy is struggling like Ryan has been, oh man, just see him land.
It's one of those moments where you realize bulls don't care about rhythm or predictions. They create their own chaos whenever they feel like it. Then there's Cody Ford. Asteroid blasted him into a flip that made gravity look optional. Cody Ford climbs on Asteroid knowing the bull's reputation, but there's no real way to prepare for an animal like this. Asteroid doesn't ease into the ride. He erupts the second the gate opens. Ford tries to anchor himself, but Asteroid's first move isn't a jump. It's a full-body explosion that sends Ford into a diagonal flip that looks impossible for a human spine. His body twists mid-air like gravity just stepped aside. When he crashes into the dirt, the impact echoes through the arena, sharp and heavy enough to make people stand up instantly.
Asteroid, he still gets out there. He still does his thing. And you can see right there, punishing Cody Ford as he nodded his head.
Hands go to mouths, heads shake, and the energy shifts from excitement to shock. Ford survives, but the ride becomes one of the most replayed examples of Asteroid's destructive force. Next up, Harve Stewart. Second chances crushed his face guard and proved even helmets have breaking points. Harve Stewart starts the ride looking balanced, but one slip changes everything. His feet whip backward, throwing his center off gravity and leaving him exposed. Second chances reacts instantly, locking onto him with that deadly focus bulls get when they see an opening.
On second chances.
The bull fires his head forward and smashes Stewart square in the helmet and face. The hit is so hard that the helmet shifts from the impact, almost coming off entirely. Stewart drops straight down, hands clutching his face, clearly stunned.
Your brake, they're what keep you from coming forward. You can see it almost knocked the helmet off of his head right there.
The pain is immediate and overwhelming. Moments later, doctors confirm what everyone already suspected: facial damage, concussion, and a long recovery ahead. It's one of those wrecks that reminds you, helmets can only do so much when a 2,000-pound bull decides to strike with full force. Then there's Jared Farley. Ludacris erased him in one violent blink and he's gone hit. Jared Farley walks into this ride with confidence, thinking he finally understands how Ludacris moves. He studied the spins, the timing, the rhythm. But Ludacris isn't a pattern bull, he's raw aggression. The gate opens and the bull detonates like a live explosive. Farley barely has time to blink before he's thrown sideways with violent force. His head hits the dirt at full speed, and the lights go out instantly. No struggle, no slow collapse, just immediate blackout. His body goes limp right away, the kind of limp that makes even tough riders tense up. This is what Ludacris is known for, one brutal, perfectly placed hit that shuts a rider down in a single second. Coming up next, Chad Denton. Chute Gate blasted him into steel with a hit nobody could watch twice. Chad Denton draws a bull named Chute Gate, and the name itself already feels like a warning. The second he settles in, veterans around the arena get that uneasy feeling. They've seen this setup before. The gate swings open and the bull blasts sideways with unbelievable strength.
Knows him. I just talked to him. He's pretty excited. Whoa, look at
Tough, I love your announcement.
Denton doesn't even have time to react before he's launched straight into the steel gate. The impact is brutal, bone meeting metal with a sickening crack that echoes across the arena. Denton's body folds instantly and drops like someone cut the power from his system. Even riders who've taken countless hits look away, because this kind of collision is different.
You all right, brother? Yeah. Huh?
Dirt is one thing, steel is another. Medics rush in, knowing gate impacts break more than pride. Denton's crash into the steel gate remains one of those rides people still talk about, because of how violent, fast, and unforgiving it was. Up next, Brock Mortonson. Hanky Panky shattered his jaw in a split-second hit that still haunts bull riding history. Brock Mortonson's wreck on Hanky Panky is the kind of moment that sticks with you long after you've seen it. The bull snaps his head upward, and Mortonson is caught at the worst possible angle.
Him down. He's in trouble. Man. He's knocked out again. The bull hit him right in the face. Dadgummit.
The horn drives directly under his jaw with devastating precision. His entire jaw shatters on impact, bone fragments scattering inside his mouth instantly. Blood hits the dirt and the arena goes silent in shock. This isn't a normal injury, it's a complete structural collapse of a rider's face.
There, I believe he clipped him right on the, looked like maybe the right side. Then you don't know about the bull.
Surgeons spend hours rebuilding everything with plates, screws, and grafts, trying to restore what the bull destroyed in a single split second. It's one of the most graphic moments ever captured in bull riding history, a reminder of how fragile the human body really is against an animal built for brute power. Finally, Jason Bennett, Lions King, dropped him from victory straight into a blackout. Jason Bennett's ride on Lions King is one of those moments where everything looks under control right up until the second it isn't. For 8 full seconds he stays locked in, a shoulders square, legs set, and the crowd is already reacting like he just nailed a highlight reel ride.
Lions King. All right, good bull. Got to stay out of the well here. Bennett with a separated shoulder on that left hand, left arm.
Then the whistle blows and everything flips. Lions King snaps around fast, almost like he's scanning for a target, and Bennett is still mid-dismount when the bull drills him in the side of the head with full force. Bennett's body switches off instantly.
Oh, down and hit him right in the head. Oh, boy. I mean, the bull knocked him out just a...
He goes limp before he even hits the dirt, arms dangling, head loose, and the whole arena freezes because the knockout is so sudden. It's one of those rare bull riding moments where a rider lands a great score and loses consciousness in the same breath.